What's the bag? All I wanted was a bag. 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 The most electrifying players to ever put on the Philadelphia Eagles uniform has finally spoken out against his old coach, Chip Kelly. Now, we remember Chip Kelly for pretty much destroying the Philadelphia Eagles, and Desean Jackson himself actually being released over a bogus claim that he was in some type of a gang or something like that. So let's go back and take y'all back. Then we're going to hear what Desean Jackson actually had to say about this. And this has been about 3 to 4 years in the making. I've been waiting for this. So here we go.
And then all of a sudden, he's gone. And you heard stuff that it was a football decision. That's utter nonsense. It wasn't a football decision. It was something far more than that, because if anybody could use Desean Jackson, it's a Chip Kelly-style offense that could use a Desean Jackson. What it says to me, with the players reacting the way that they reacted, Skip, and asking this question as the Washington Redskins get set to show up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia this week, it seems to me that what they're saying is that there's no reason for this guy to be gone from this football team. And what that also says to me is that the distraction that they tried to paint Desean Jackson as being when they were ultimately trying to let him go, it tells me that that wasn't true either. Because if it were true, then the players wouldn't be asking questions. They would know for a fact this is why he's gone, because in the coach's eyes, at the very least, he was considered a distraction. But they're not even willing to admit that. And what that says to me is that Desean Jackson had a better relationship with his teammates than we were led to believe. It says to me that they wanted him more than we were led to believe. And it says to me that the justification for the Philadelphia Eagles for letting him go wasn't nearly what they tried to paint it as being, which tells me he was railroaded and shipped out of town. And I'm glad he landed in Washington.
I agree 100% with Stephen A. Smith's assessment on the situation. I believe that Desean Jackson was, in fact, railroaded and made to be a scapegoat. For what reason, I do not know. But we do know that the other day, Desean Jackson did break his silence, and he went all the way in and aired Chip Kelly out. Let's take a listen to what he had to say, fam. Hit that subscribe button, too. Let's go.
But you did have some bad feelings about how you parted ways with that organization,
Sure.
Chip Kelly.
Right.
It looked like they were trying to discredit you on the way out as they shoved you out the back door.
Yeah.
Now that your emotions have settled on all that, how does it leave you feeling about Chip Kelly and the way it ended in Philadelphia?
Oh, man, I think everyone close to me knows how I feel about Chip Kelly. I don't respect the way he did things as a person. I don't really like him, but, you know, he had to do what he had to do. That was his job. But, you know, moving forward in my life and in my career, I just have a bad taste in my mouth towards him. I like what he did on the field as far as in 2013, his style of play and, you know, how he had us moving around, running fast and all that. But once the end of the season came and the way he did things, I mean, I don't feel like as a man he was real with me. He didn't tell me, like, you know, this what it was or, you know, this is what we're going to do moving forward. You know, it was just I looked up and I was cut. So
you think he had something to do with the report that was released that was negative about you?
Possibility. You know, when you're figuring out a way to get rid of one of your best deep threats on your team, I mean, you have to kind of make up a story, or you
Right.
gotta. It can't just be we're releasing our best receiver just for no reason. So I feel like them digging the story up. I mean, the story happened like 4 years ago, and it was a close friend that I grew up with that, you know, had some issues, but you know, it's a guy that I grew up with that had an issue, and you know, I'm not supposed to turn my back on him. You know, he ended up beating the case and everything. So it was just a lot of nonsense that was around it. I never been in trouble, never been a felon. So all the stuff you're making up, I mean, the way I grew up, you gonna fault me for the way I grew up?
Even if he didn't have anything to do with the information coming out,
Right.
you felt he should have supported you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, or if not support me, at least come tell me why. You know, have a conversation, call me, pick up the phone. I mean, throughout the season, if you had a play or you've seen a scheme, you're going to call me and bring me in your office and tell me, look, I think you could do good on this down the field. You know, we have Foles. He has a big arm. You know, you're going to holler at me if it's a play or it's a scheme. But if it's a real-life situation that the way I was raised or how I grew up or who's my friend, you can't come tell me this is a problem in our organization or this is why we feel like we need to move forward. You don't even come tell me that. So I just felt that was very personal for me, and I couldn't respect it.
So the perception at the time
Right.
was that Chip Kelly was trying to get rid of all the outspoken black stars, you and LaShawn and Macklin and others, but starting with you and LaShawn.
Right.
As you look back now,
But kept Riley Cooper.
Kept Riley Cooper. Don't get me started on that. You know? Do you look back and say truth to that?
I look back and say what we created in Philly around them times. I think we had a great team. We built a great camaraderie. You know, McCoy, me and him still talk to this day. It was a bitter taste in our mouth because we felt what we created there back in the young days. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles back then with me, McCoy, Vic, Macklin. I mean, we had some dangerous weapons, and we felt like if we was to continue to be there, I mean, we would have been enjoying that parade with them guys. But, I mean, like I said, it's not a bitter taste. You know, you move on, things happen in life.
So no racial undertones?
No. I'm never that type of guy. Like I said, I just personally how I feel about him, I don't respect him, and you know I can move forward. I ain't got to deal with him ever in my life, but what he did, I just don't respect him for it.
I'm gonna have to agree with Desean Jackson. I grew up an Eagles fan all the way since I was, can remember, a young man, and I could not think of why in the hell he would break up this team with all these stars of Sean McCoy, Desean Jackson, Jeremy Mack, and those three right there are still playing at a high level right now to this day. I just can't fathom in my mind why he would give these players up. So, Desean didn't want to really delve into the racial undertone, and we really don't know. It definitely appears that way. That he was just getting rid of players just to get rid of them. So obviously we see that the NFL just wasn't, Chip Kelly's cup of tea. But I do wish Desean the best. Hopefully, that'd be nice they brought him back to Philly. I don't know now, but it is what it is. So, hey, family, go into the description box and follow us on all the social media sites, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, as well as on the website, hiphopun.com. On the way out, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and make sure you share it. Let it go through and get to the masses. All right, man, it's your boy, O God, Hip Hop News Uncensored. We out. Peace.